came all the way from St. Louis for this today. We're also doing some fitness, some service training and maintenance training in the clubs with some technicians as well. And we have the True head of technology or head of service here for the couple of days as well. So Matt will give us an introduction of True. So just to give us an idea of maybe the heritage of the company, how long they're in business. We're not a new company, we're a very established company. If anyone has any questions that are financially oriented about the business or about the fitness industry or in terms of what companies make money, what company, Matt is just a world of information. There's not a figure that he doesn't know. So as we discovered,
discovered, so I talk too much. Is that what you're saying?
So work away, Matt. Thanks for coming over as well.
Thanks, Marion. Thank you guys. Thanks everybody for attending. Patsy, thank you for hosting. We certainly appreciate it. And as you will see, as you walk around this wonderful facility that they've built here, you'll actually see a sampling of some of True's products. So Marion had asked me to give a little bit of an introduction as to True, and whom we are. If I can get this to move. As Marion mentioned, True Fitness based in St. Louis. So if you geographically in the U.S., it's right in the middle. We're about 5.5 hour drive or 5 hour drive southwest of Chicago. So we have all 4 seasons, extreme weather. It was 35 Celsius when I left. We get down to as low as -9 Celsius. So we do get snow. We get a little bit of everything. But company was founded in 1981 by Frank Trulaske. So we are still one of the only privately held, solely owned manufacturers in the fitness industry. We manufactured everything in St. Louis up until about 2012. And then we moved our manufacturing offshore to Taiwan, which we've been manufacturing offshore in Taiwan some products since 1995. All of our engineering, everything is still based in St. Louis. We have full-time employees over in Taiwan as well. But Frank came from the refrigeration industry. So his family has been in manufacturing since the 1920s. The refrigeration side of this, so cooler insets for a convenience store, a grocery store, whatever it may be, that's the lineage of the family. And his cousin runs that at this parent time. That side of the business is a little over $1 billion US in annual sales per year as a privately held company. So if you look at where True sits within the fitness place, we're in the top 5 for equipment manufacturers in the world today. So history of True. Uh-oh. As I mentioned, 1981, if you want one of these beautiful treadmills, this was one of the first 3. It actually sits in our museum there, full steel thing. Frank was pretty much of an innovator on some of the products that you would see today. We were the first one to ever invent a safety key on a treadmill. So we started out as a consumer-only product and only a treadmill manufacturer. But we were the first one to actually invent the safety key on a product. We also developed a soft select systems for cushioning on the deck. And then he actually owns the patents on heart rate control. Which today is a measurement of heart rate, but before a lot of programs would be able to control speed and elevation based off your heart rate wearing a telemetry strap. So he was the inventor, he owns the patents of that as well. So it obviously brought into a lot of aspects of the industry. Just to give you guys here's a timeline of our history. Founded in 79, really didn't start until 81. Just give you some landmarks here. Heart rate control started in 1996. We acquired an organization, a strength organization, because we had had so much cardio but no strength. We bought a company called Paramount Fitness. They were a 60-year-old strength manufacturer based in California. So we did purchase them in 2015. And then in 2020, we continued to round out our product portfolio on the strength side by bringing in Patsy and them here, the Fuse line, which is attributed back to Paramount. We actually developed a whole full premium strength line as well called the Palladium series, with the engineer previously of Cybex and the engineer of Paramount. So we had both of those people on staff helping develop that. In 2020, which is not listed on here, we acquired Octane Fitness, which had been in the industry as well. So we completed that acquisition during COVID. So again, over 5 years and 2 acquisitions. So we continue to grow. There we go, Octane Fitness. We can do design work, so we do layout work through EC Design, have that ability to do that, to take that on. Here's just an overview of some of our product categories today. As you can see on the cardio side, we have the gamut of products from step mills to incline trainers to a slat treadmill, if that's what you prefer as well. That's a new product category for us. And then the traditional adjustable ellipticals and so forth. This is Octane Fitness's lineup today. As we mentioned, Octane was a privately held company, was purchased by Nautilus Incorporated, which is more of a direct-to-consumer company in the U.S. We bought back just the Octane brand back in 2020. We are working on technology. We're working on rounding out that product portfolio to bring a treadmill and a bike to that lineup as well. So as True moves forward, True Fitness will be the parent company with the brands of True and Octane underneath it.
And you still keep the Octane brand then?
We're keeping the Octane brand.
So that's strong enough to keep, obviously?
It is. So how True built our organization, as I mentioned, we were retail consumer product. Then in the 90s, we developed into commercial product lines for cardio. Then we started developing strength. And then how we went, majority of our business is done through distributors such as Art to Fitness, both internationally and domestically. So it's a little bit different, skewed than how most organizations go to market in the States. They're more directly to the due paid facility from the manufacturer. That division, we're just starting to grow at this current time. It's just a discipline that we went. The benefit of that during COVID is we actually grew market share. Our revenues continued to grow during COVID. We were able to supply inventory and have it available for anybody that needed it. So that was a benefit for us. But Octane had a better presence in some of those due paid facilities than what we did, as far as relationships that were garnered in the States. So we'll get to the markets we serve and so forth, but just to give you a little background on that. And then strength, this is our new premium line that we're going through that was fully developed, shrouds, color pads, whatever you would want. Same height on all of the weight stacks other than the lateral, the lat pull down and the leg press and so forth. But they didn't do this right. So QR codes, too many stops. Fit for everybody. Harv Voris, who's one of our lead engineers, he sits on the ASTM standard board. We're obviously we want to make sure that everything is safe and functional for use. We have a very good track record as far as liability is concerned. And then we physically test all of our products beyond any standards that are set. Everything is there. And then we have group training as that becomes, the functional rings and everybody else. We have multiple sizes, modular systems, whatever you want, cable crossovers. We can stack up to 8 at a time. So those are some of the pieces I do not believe are here. Those would not be in here. So markets.
We found it maybe the rigs the rigs weren't big. Maybe they're just not so big now. The actual rig,
Correct.
like now we prefer
Popularity.
free space.
Yeah, the popularity.
Yeah.
It went in a curve. Yeah.
Yes.
So I was telling David earlier. So I also I belong to a board called Fitness Industry Suppliers Association board. You're smiling. What we do as manufacturers and how we look at product, our portfolios or usages, we physically report all of our sales data to an independent accounting firm. The top 15, with the exception of one individual company, reports their information. We glean all that information, we get it back. So we know the size of the market share. We know the size of the market share per modality. So whether it's a treadmill, it's an elliptical, it's a functional trainer. We also know how much is involved in technology and connected fitness or whatever it may be. So that information is given back to those that support this program. So that's how we go to market and figure out what's the next point of entry, What's my return on investment for doing a change? Where do we see some of the future? So we use that feedback in accordance with the facilities that we're in and that we can garner from surveys or whichever to actually look at what are we doing for the future and where does it go. But-
what do you think? Because it's such a pivotal time, isn't it? It's hard to know in terms of like what
Be
information
nice.
do
nice.
you have?
You're not going to get me to say that tonight. So, I would, it is a changing industry.
Yeah.
I think we've all been in it a lot of us have been in it for a very long time, and we've seen things come and pass. There's only two modalities that make someone actually keep pace on an exercise, whether it's a treadmill or a step mill. Other than that, it's all up to the individual user on how much exertion they want to actually put into the product. So, connected fitness, I think it has a place. I don't think it's going to be in the same realm that it was. I think it was a nice consumer product, but read a stock price. So we obviously cover the full gamut of anything that would be there. These are some of the partners that we use, and you can see here, obviously, University of Cork. We do JD Sport in England. We do a club in Saudi Arabia called Fitness Time. They have 100 and something locations. The CEO just moved to Pakistan from Fitness Time, so we will be doing those clubs. Their expansion is about 50 clubs per year. And then the one that's not on here is Lifetime Fitness in the States as well. So we do that and work with Pat Regan there. So just some pictures of some of our installations, student recs, health clubs in the States. We know this facility. And then hotels, hospitality, whichever. So the unique thing about True is our product lines, there's a series of lines for anybody's needs or whatever you would have. And what we can do. YMCA's is a big proponent. That's one market of the US that actually has come back strong and is actually selling at this current time. The due-paid facilities in the States, we lost about 50% during COVID that probably will not reopen. So the large facilities and chains are going to get bigger. They're going to create more space, but there's not going to be as many varieties and opportunities for others currently that we see in the forefront. So those that were functional and had cash, they still have cash. So just a couple more slides here. Health clubs, New Jersey. And then One Life Fitness, if you ever get to St. Louis. This facility actually overlooks the ballpark. So One Life's a part of the U.S. Holdings Group out of the East Coast. So we did outfit that facility as well. And it literally overlooks our baseball stadium. So you can watch the game as you're working out. It's not a bad deal. But any rate, that's just a really, really, really quick glimpse as to True Fitness. We appreciate the opportunity that Marianne brought us in and what she contributes. And I will be around all day if you guys have any questions about, as Marianne mentioned, as the industry, any more questions specifically about True. But we're more than happy to answer any questions that you have. So I'll turn it over to the main presenters. Thank you guys.
Great.